Before we begin this review, I'd like to take a moment to thank the developers at Infinite Wise for reaching out to me and providing me a free copy of this game to review and to stream. Thank you so much for reaching out to my channel and providing a copy of the game. I had a blast playing it, and my stream had a blast watching me fail miserably as a detective. At least now I know that that's not a career for me. I'll leave it to the professionals. Anyway, once again, thank you so very much. Truly appreciate it. On with the review. Growing up as the geek that I was destined to be, there's games that I was doomed that I would want to play. Dungeons and Dragons, video games, board games, maze and puzzle rooms, and more importantly, mystery murder dinners. The latter being something that I would rarely get to participate in, mainly due to the fact that it requires a lot of effort and timing required to even get one arranged. I would eventually get to participate in a murder mystery dinner in my early 20s. I fairly enjoyed it, despite the murderer getting away with it and my detective skills clearly needing some work. After the event, speaking with the host, with the effort, the time, and the money, he advised me it will probably be a long time before hosting one, despite the fact that we all had an absolute blast. That was 10 years ago, and I'm still waiting. I have a feeling that the folks at Infinite Ways had the exact same problem and decided to take a shot into fixing that issue. And if that's the case, I thank them for noticing this issue and deciding to take a crack at it. Whispers in the West, as labelled on the box, is a co-op mystery murder game, working together as a team to solve mysteries. While not all the mysteries are murders, and the co-op is optional, you'll certainly get what is being advertised on the box. Released in July 2023, Whispers in the West, or as I'll be calling it from now to save me some time, Whispers was released to Steam. You and up to 4 other friends, and even Twitch chat, take on the roles of marshals, solving the mysteries in the town of Brimstone, which may or may not be possibly related to the many depictions of Brimstone in movies or board games. We'll never know, but it's fun to speculate. As of the time of this video, Whispers is made up of 8 mysteries, including the tutorial, taken from 20 minutes to 1 hour of several in-game days. Times are customizable to tailor to your session and your players. Players will take on the role of one of 4 marshals, each with their own personal item and personal knowledge, which plays into the information and clues that will be available to that player. From the marshals, you have William Hart, the sheriff, Jezebel Vega, the outlaw, Wendy Watson, the deputy, and finally Jack Jones, the cowboy. NPCs and certain clues will only be present and available to certain characters. Take the likes of William Hart, the sheriff. Knowing the local town folks, most law-abiding citizens will be willing to speak with him openly, while Jezebel, being an outlaw, will get the cold shoulder from most of the upstanding citizens, with the opposite effects being for the more nefarious folk. The music is a good mix of pan flutes, bells, guitars, and possibly a banjo. I'm not sure, I'm not much of a music buff. I could barely tell the difference between like a bass guitar and a regular guitar, so, take my music review as a question mark and a bit of skepticism. But if you think of the upbeat, heroic western tune, I guarantee whatever you're thinking, that's what it is. And you know what? What they've done is amazing, and it fits right in there, with it knowing when to be quiet when in times of the mystery. How does Whispers actually play? The host will pick one of the mysteries, provide a room code, set the timer, and everyone can join in on it. Every player picks their characters, and after a short introduction to the mystery, you're unleashed into the town. The mysteries are the usual sort of affair of small western mysteries, from bank heist to even murder most foul. You'll be tasked with solving a small range of questions usually related to who or what. Who stole what? Who killed why? The game plays like an old school side-scrolling point-and-click adventure game that LucasArts used to make. Think Escape from Monkey Island. Each town location is a small screen with a handful of characters. Interacting with the characters, you'll be able to ask a handful of pre-written questions, each tailored to whichever deputy or marshal that you're using, and being able to provide clues and items to get more information from that character. These, of course, being different depending on which character you're using. Paying attention to the small details that the characters provide, seeing if the stories line up, and where certain people were at certain times with certain clues and certain locations to be able to wrap this mystery up. With the 4 players in mind, you could split across the town, taking different evidence and questioning different folks, adding notes to a sort of a team view, that the team can refer to use in their questioning. And once you think you've solved the mystery, you'll lock in your answer and you'll be scored on how many hints that you've used and how many of your answers were correct. You will then have a small cutscene play out showing a job well done, with justice being served or the victims blaming you for your failure. There's a cool little neat feature at the end of it where you can play an extended cutscene that lays out the entire crime, explaining the hows and whys from each person that was involved in the crime. It's really cool and provides a full picture of what's happened so that you can understand why. As the mystery, when you're trying to solve it, you're not interested in the whys. You're usually just interested in the who's and the whats. As the mysteries can be solved by one person, you'll usually find there's one answer that stands out, but you will get the full picture of the crime without a full party. What makes mysteries an interesting offer is the pricing structure around the game as well. Only one person needs to own the game to host it, and each mystery is sold separately. That means if you're not interested in doing a bank heist mystery, you don't have to fork out for it, with each mystery being sold at a reasonable price. However, the downside is these mysteries are fixed written mysteries, meaning the killer, the victim, the thief, whatever, it never changes, limiting the replay value. Sure, you can play it as a different character to get a different point of view from it and getting the evidence to convict the person, but once you know who you're looking for, you're naturally going to go looking for the evidence to convict that person in each playthrough, really changing the steps on how you get the evidence to convict that person. If Steve was the murderer, it's always going to be Steve, and you're always going to know how Steve did it, so you'll know who to question. But since it's not a randomized mystery, the mysteries can be well more written, and it doesn't require RNG to tell a story, something that other detective games can have an issue with. I guess the best way of explaining it, it's like ordering a quick burger from McDonald's or Hungry Jack's. Yeah, it's cheap and you enjoyed it, but you kind of just wish you had a tiny bit more. But you knew what you were getting when you handed over your tenner. If you got a bunch of friends and are interested in murder mystery dinners but lack the motivation to leave the house, then Whispers in the West makes a solid recommendation. Once again, thank you to the team at Infinite Ways for reaching out and providing a copy of this game. I had a blast with it, and I look forward to doing more mysteries and hopefully getting to see some future mysteries added to the game to give it some more longevity. Once again, thank you so very much for the shout out and really appreciate it. And thank you so much for watching my review. Feel free to follow me on Twitch. We're streaming very regularly. We're slowly building up to our 500 view account. And give this channel a follow for more additional content. Anyway, have a great day, everyone. Take care of yourselves. Make sure you keep yourself well fed and well hydrated, and have yourself a good sleep. Until next time, gamers, I'll catch you around. I reckon I could have made a good detective if I paid attention more in school. But then again, I can't remember my teacher's name. I had a good run.